Hi there. By now you've all probably seen the official casting announcement from HBO for House of the Dragon Season 2, including that Gail Rankin is Alice Rivers and Abu Bakar Salim is playing Alan Velaryon. That raised a couple of questions, but I said in my immediate reaction videos I dashed off, I've intended to make casting rumor analysis videos for a while. I'm backlogged because so much news came out that last week they greenlit a Dunk and Egg spinoff. Week before that, there was a leak that they are seriously moving forward on a Targaryen Conquest prequel. So I'm backlogged. I have a lot of videos I've recorded and edited but haven't been able to put out. I said I had to drop what I'm doing to focus on the casting stuff, which I was originally going to get to like a week from now. Point is, these actors, Rankin and Salim, they were on our radar since March as rumored Season 2 cast members. We didn't know who they were playing. And in addition to that, there's been some confusion of how could Salim be playing Alan Velaryon when he's 30? Have they condensed Addam and Alan Velaryon, these two brothers, have they condensed them into a single character? Could Laenor be pretending to be his own bastard son as the other brother, Addam? A lot of wild theories going around, but then I remembered, when I actually got back to my notes on the casting rumors, there were other actors who we thought were playing Addam and still do. This specific actor, Clinton Liberty, is probably going to appear as Addam Velaryon. Or he might, enough to throw in doubt that they're doing anything really changing things, with bringing Laenor back or condensing the two characters together. They might just not have announced all of them yet. So that might be what's going on here. I'm going to walk you through it. Well, first off, what's the process? Like I said, it's based on Instagram follows. Cross-referenced. We did this during Season 1. Which current cast members are suspiciously following other people on Instagram? And when a director is following them, it has even more impact. And then we wait to see if they're posting photos that happen to be near Leavesden Studios. Some have actually done that. But we also have the people who are really hardcore on this. I am not one of the originators of most of this. Let me make that clear. It's the really hardcore people that are good at it, like VK Glenn, like Brazilian channel, House the Dragon, he's really good at it. Realm of Dragons is a Greek channel, they're also really good at this. But I help disseminate it, but I'm part of the conversation, but I'm not one of the originators. I'll just, the hardcore fans discussing this. But from going through Season 1 on this, we have the restraint to realize this is the maybe pile. This is maybe this person has joined the cast and not leap to those conclusions. I mean, remember when a couple of months ago I was so convinced that Archie Madekwe was Addam Velaryon because Emma Darcy kept following him. Then it turns out it's because they were both gearing up to be in a stage play together. And I even posted on his Instagram, he responded, "Oh man, I thought you were Addam Velaryon, I thought you were joining the show." He said, sorry, no, it's I'm going to play with Emma. So we have a list of rumored people, but it's a spectrum. There's gradations to it if we are not comfortable really reporting on it, because it's just a guess. It's not really a director is following this person. And I'm not here to make clickbait, so I would never do that to you guys. Problem is, we're discussing this in the open on Instagram, and then people notice, it spreads to Twitter, they notice our speculation, it spreads to Reddit, so 3 to 4 people down the chain, like the game of telephone, it turns into there's 1 or 2 people running around on Reddit who are posting I got an exclusive leak that this actress is definitely Jane Arryn, and you'll see that going over Reddit and stuff, and it's, you didn't have an exclusive, you saw us speculating, fan channels speculating based on Instagram follows. You are not the person who originated this, and it is not confirmed at all. You didn't get an exclusive. It's we were speculating this person might have joined the cast. So we had figured out a while ago, back in March, that Gail Rankin had joined the cast, but I thought she was Black Hallie Blackwood, or maybe Sarah Snow, based on that she was Sheila the Wolf Girl in the Glow series, but we knew they were in there. I mean, we'd heard that Salim was in it, I just didn't know what he was doing. But, just as it goes to all the people who need to just spam post it, also legitimate fan sites will pick up that, oh, this is a rumored person, and they have contacts. Redanian Intelligence, the big fan site for Netflix's The Witcher series, who themselves often post leaks they get because they have legitimate sources in the casting industry that usually turn out to be accurate. And as opposed to saying things like, "This is Jane Eyre," they go, "I got a casting sheet that might be for this third-tier character." That seems more realistic, you know? So the point is that today is April 24th when this first set of casting announcements came out. Back on April 12th, 2 weeks ago, Redanian intelligence saw and weighed all of the informed speculation by the hardcore fan channels, did digging of their own in response, and posted one big article on these are the actors who are rumored to be in Season 2 that we think have some credibility to the rumors. And this was all 2 weeks ago, but then we got news of a Targaryen conquest thing, we got news of Dunkinegg. This was all behind. So you see, my point is that I don't want to make clickbait. The only ones I feel comfortable reporting on happen to be this list of 4 people that turned out to be what also Redanian felt were the only 4 things credible enough to actually report on to other people. And 2 of them were Gale Rankin and Abu Bakr Salim, so that narrows it down. As for the other 2, one of the other ones, and I'm posting screenshots, you can go to this article, it's 2 weeks old, that this is a website, don't take my word for it, a website as reputable as Redanian intelligence, posted in the same article where they were posting, "We think Rankin and Salim are in this," which turned out to be true, said, "We think this other actor, Clinton Liberty, is in it." Why? Because he's being followed on Instagram by Bethany Antonia, the Bela actress. He is a lot closer in age to what we think Adam or Alan could be. He's a 26-year-old actor, which, given that, like, the actor playing Jace is really in his early 20s, but is playing down to be a teenager, that works. That I seriously think Clinton Liberty has been cast as a speaking Valaryian role, most probably the bastards Alan and Adam. So this went from, oh my god, there's definitely, I can't rule out, but I don't think something as crazy as Laenor pretending to be his own bastard son, or these are 2 very important characters, you can't merge them together, they have different fates. Maybe they just haven't announced Adam yet, and this actor Clinton Liberty will be playing him. That leads to the obvious question, how can Salim be playing Alan when he's 30? Apart from the fact that people say, well, he can plausibly play a teenager, I doubt it. The other thought that occurs to me is that they call him Alan Oakenfist, he doesn't do that much in these seasons. But he's a major character in the Regency era. He becomes Admiral of the Fleet, the Lord of Driftmark, he's Alan Oakenfist. Maybe they, cast him now and will show him de-aged in a scene or 2, but they're setting him up to be a major character in the sequel show to this. That if they only run 4 seasons, then they'll then have an immediate sequel show that's also 4 seasons on the Regency era, when Alan Oakenfist is one of the core 4 to 5 characters. Maybe they're setting up this actor and they didn't want to bother casting a young version. Like the way other time skips were handled in this show, where they didn't feel the need to cast a young Corlys or a young Daemon. That, given how little he appears now, why not just have him appear digitally de-aged in a scene or 2 to establish he exists, and by the time they get to the point where he's an admiral, the character, the fictional character, would be in his early 30s and match the actor. That might be what they're doing, because the question is, why would you cast this prominent of an actor as Salim? He was in Raised by Wolves, he was in Assassin's Creed, for the younger brother who doesn't do that much yet. They want to set him up for a later season, and they don't think it's worth casting a younger version. They'll just de-age him. That opens up possibilities I don't know. It's also possible that they just switched the names because they felt like it. Maybe he'll be functionally which one gets to ride the Dragon Sea Smoke. Adam is the older brother who claims it in the books. Maybe they switched it so Alan is the older brother. I don't know. But there's other. The point is just there's other options than jumping to, well, I guess Laenor will pretend to be his own bastard son. As we have other actors on the radar who are clearly playing some kind of Valaryian. We think. Huh. I am annoyed about the age shift, though, that these could not plausibly be Laenor's sons. But then maybe, well, they play down in the show because the time skips are weird, and why would they include that line of Laenor saying it wasn't for lack of trying, that his appetites are different, that it implied, I've made videos on this saying they're setting up that he has bastard sons from before his marriage to Rhaenyra, when he was confused, and maybe his father was pushing him into it, but pressuring him to be with a girl, so they may have dropped that and just straight up said they're Corlys's or maybe even Vaemon's for all I know. Then again, that's what Season 1 did. They removed the ambiguity that Rhaenyra's sons are presented as Rhaenyra thinks they're Harwins. Even though she said, well, I tried with Laenor a few times, but they removed most of the ambiguity about maybe they look like Baratheons because Rhaenys is half Baratheon. So other than, I joke about, they removed it, they're definitely Corlys's or something. The real nightmare would be if they have the Laenor actor come back and pretend to be his own son. That's ridiculous. Or if they merge the two into a single character. But then I went back and I said I'm going to follow up by reporting on the rest of my casting list. And wait, there was another guy we thought was also a Valaryian. So keep an eye on Clinton Liberty. That might be the simple and acceptable answer to all of this. So just don't panic. That I thought, I've got this whole list to go through. Well, there's like a dozen people on it. Only 4 I was willing to talk about. There are also the 4 that Redanian was willing to talk about. 2 of them were in today's casting announcement. Rankin and Salim. The other one, moving ahead now, is Kieran Boo, who, unlike Clinton Liberty, who we think is in the cast, we know that Kieran Boo is in the cast. And Redanian explains all this, don't take my word for it, that he's an accomplished actor. He was in this Beowulf show. He's done medieval stuff before. He's 6 feet tall. He's in his 40s. And he has posted Instagram photos from Leavesden Studios. So it's not even pretending. We know he's joined the cast. The question is in what role. And we kept stressing this, and thankfully Redanian put it in their article, stressing, no, he is not Cregan Stark, because they said Cregan is closer in age to Jace at the end of Season 1. And while you could fudge it and say anything up to like 30 is, well, he's closer to your age and you're like 18-ish. No, not a 40-year-old actor. That is beyond the pale. They could even have like someone who's 25. Maybe not a teenager, because I think they'd want a teenager, but a 40-year-old actor, there's no way he's playing Cregan Stark. We've already been through this. It was a big fan discussion online for the past month. I know not a lot of people have been online because there hasn't been that much news. This is one of the few new pieces of information we were debating, is who is Kieran Boo playing? No, he cannot be Cregan. Well, his description matches up with a casting sheet that went out for a while ago by Redanian, saying they put out a casting sheet for a recurring character who has to know how to ride a horse, because he's a mounted soldier, like an officer giving commands and stuff, and who has a sense of humor. Well, that could describe a couple of people. It's some snarky lord commanding an army group, and there's a couple of options. The top ones, to me, given the roles he's played, seem to be Roderick Dustin is a top choice, but also maybe Lord Ormond Hightower. It depends on, well, they don't have a personality in the books, so are they snarky or not? I think Roderick is kind of funny in his dark humor kind of way, that Cregan is still rallying the North, so he says, I can't send you many men, so I'll send you my best men as an advanced force while I'm rallying my main army. I'll send you 2,000 men, but they're my hand-picked veterans. Each one worth a dozen men. They'll be the vanguard of your army, very disciplined, very experienced guys. And to command them, the commander of the northern forces in the Riverlands he sends is the grizzled Roderick Dustin, Roddy the Ruin. He's an amazing character. He could be playing him. Or he could be playing one of the other Hightowers. that given that Daeron will be in Season 2, we know the Hightower army will be part of this. He could be playing Daeron's uncle through Alicent's cousin Ormond. That it's, you saw they introduced in the TV show that Otto is the younger brother of House Hightower. They introduced his older brother, who was unnamed in the books, as Lord Hobart. This is Hobart's son, Ormond, so he's Alicent's first cousin, Ormond. And he commands the main Hightower army group, which is one of the big green armies. And he rides with Daeron, and they're fighting their way up through the Reach. So he could be Ormond. He could be Roderick. That's what we think. But we know he's in the show. But it's interesting we semi-confirmed that. Other things also from this article are, and these are confirmed things, they found out that there's this actor, Mark Staubert, who is very probably playing Cheese from Blood and Cheese. Because they said he's confirmed, he's in the show, and his character's codenamed Charlie or something, but we know from the audition sheet that's what they were codenaming Cheese. So you're looking at Cheese here. And there's another actor, James Dougherty, who's playing some guy codenamed Clay. So these are cast members we can confirm. So I'm going to wrap up tonight going through I had this whole checklist. I'm going to do casting rumors, then a few quick updates on directors and behind-the-scenes crew that they've confirmed are returning for Season 2, which I'm going to get to. That today's announcements I was already behind schedule on. Well, I've been sitting around making Dunk and Egg content for a week because of the huge announcement, and now suddenly this comes. So I guess having too much news is a problem you want to have after the last 4 months of hardly anything. But the big takeaway here is, what are they doing with Addam Velaryon? And there's a couple of options, because who is Clinton Liberty playing? That let's see what they're doing with that. Why would you cast Salim as this relatively minor if they cast him as Adam, that would have been one thing. But saying he's Alan, the younger brother, maybe they're setting him up and will, like, de-age him, or maybe he's playing Alan of Hull, the father of Marilda or something. We're not really sure what they're doing. Because some of these are minor characters they announced. That they announced, like Gwaine Hightower and Simon Strong, aren't really big characters. They announced them because they knew that they're filming Harrenhal exteriors this week, and spy photos would figure them out eventually, so they should... they announce people right before they do exterior shots. I'm not really sure what's going on, but the big point of this video is, don't jump to conclusions. Don't deny things when there's evidence either, like the Oleanor's coming back. But there's a couple of things they could be doing, and just when I went back to the casting sheets and went, oh yeah, what about that guy? He could be playing Adam. I'm not sure. Please like and subscribe and check back frequently as we try to get to the bottom of this.